Good morning, viewers. It's Angie, and this is UK Money Wisdom. We've lived through what I call the golden age of UK pensions. Let me explain. For years, pensions were the ultimate tax-free bunker, weren't they? But as we head toward the spring statement on the 3rd of March, the budget, the walls of that bunker are getting thinner. Not collapsing exactly, thinning. And the rule shifts already announced for 2027 and 2029 are bigger than most people realise. So today I'm walking you through the 7 most important pension shifts in play right now, calmly, precisely, and with real numbers. Have you heard of salary sacrifice? That's the compounding engine, which now has a clock. Let's begin with this, and something that's already legislated. In the 2025 budget, a major announcement was made. From April 2029, the National Insurance Relief via salary sacrifice will be capped at £2,000 per year. And that is not speculation. That is a ticking clock. Let's model why this matters. Say you sacrifice £5,000. Without salary sacrifice, that's 20% income tax of £1,000, 8% employee NI of £400, and £3,600 reaches your pension. Now, with salary sacrifice, the full £5,000 goes in, employer saves 13.8% NI, that's £690, and many employers pass that back, you see. So potentially £5,690 invested versus £3,600. Now here's the future issue. If NI relief is capped at £2,000 annually from 2029, higher earners and aggressive savers lose part of that efficiency. If you currently benefit from, say, the £3,500 of NI savings annually, that excess disappears. Over 15 years at 5% growth, that could mean a £50,000 to £70,000 difference in retirement outcomes. So ahead of the 3rd of March, rumours may swirl. But this change already has a date, and that's April 2029. For 2026-27, the full new state pension rises to £12,548 per year. The personal allowance remains frozen at £12,570. Do the maths. That leaves £22. That's £22 only of tax-free headroom. That is £1.83 per month. And what's the meaning of this? If you receive just £2 per month of additional income, say bank interest, private pension, anything, you become an income taxpayer. For the first time in modern history, the state pension is almost entirely consuming the personal allowance. Now, this means the government raises the state pension via the triple lock, then freezes the allowance. So part of that rise comes back, doesn't it, in tax? That is known as fiscal drag at its most refined, if you can call it refined. State pension is £12,548, personal allowance £12,570, gap of only £22, with £2 per month, meaning you're a taxpayer. And remember, the allowance is frozen until 2031. Inflation shrinks it in real terms every year too. So the allowance isn't static. It's effectively shrinking. You see, fiscal drag is the silent revenue machine. The personal allowance freeze is one of the most powerful tax-raising mechanisms in modern policy. No headline tax rise, no dramatic speech to warn us, but more pensioners paying tax each year. Imagine your pension as a bucket. Water flows in, but inflation and frozen thresholds drill a small hole in that base. The bucket fills, but it leaks, and over time that leak widens. Ahead of 3rd of March, do watch carefully, not for tax rate changes, but for threshold freezes being extended. That's where the revenue lives. Let's look at the 2027 shock, where pensions and inheritance tax are going to show the largest structural shift in a decade. From the 6th of April 2027, pension funds will be included within estate calculations for inheritance tax. You see, for years pensions were tax efficient on the way in, and they were tax sheltered inside, often outside your estate. Now that final shield weakens. The estate before 2027 showed house and savings £700,000. So you have a pension of £400,000. Previously, only £700,000 was assessed. After allowances, there was manageable exposure. But from 2027, 1.1 million assessed, so after allowances, a large portion potentially taxed at 40%. The visual impact of this is enormous, isn't it? 6-figure differences are not exaggeration these days. They are arithmetic. This is a lot to take in and a lot of money. If you remember one thing, the pension bunker isn't gone, but it isn't as thick as it once was. Recent delays in certain public sector pension payments revealed something different. Not tax change, system fragility. Retirement planning assumes operational precision. Delays undermine confidence, and when people fear both rule shifts and administrative instability, trust erodes, and that matters. Every fiscal event, including the 3rd of March, generates speculation. So, people withdraw now, lock in lump sums, avoid future changes. Let's quantify. Say you withdraw £100,000 at age 60. Left invested at 5% for 10 years, that's £163,000. Withdraw early, you lose £63,000 of compound growth, often while paying tax to exit. See, taking money from a tax-sheltered pension and placing it into a 4% savings account frequently means paying 20% tax, losing compounding. Let's look at the long game. State pension age rises to 67. Further life expectancy linkage is debated, but longevity is uneven across income groups and geography. So the concern isn't just economic, it's equitable, and that conversation is far from settled. Take the big picture. As the 3rd of March approaches, remember, the biggest changes aren't always announced dramatically. Some are already legislated. That's the £2,000 NI cap from 2029, state pension nearly hitting the tax threshold, inheritance tax inclusion from 2027, and personal allowance frozen until 2031. This isn't collapse, it's compression, and compression requires strategy. I'm not panicking about the 3rd of March, but I am reviewing, and so should you. Are you maximising salary sacrifice before 2029? Are you aware of the £22 tax trap? Does your estate need revisiting before 2027? Because retirement isn't about reacting to budgets, it's about staying ahead of them. If this gave you clarity, do share it with someone who needs facts, not fear. And please subscribe to make sure you receive my next videos. This is Angie, and we're on UK Money Wisdom. Bye for now.